Ladies and gentlemen, we're talking about pornography. This is a topic that has, well, boy, has its roots thousands of years ago, evolved to today to the forms of high-definition DVD and internet video streaming.
Yeah, and some of you might think it's about personal choice and how you like expressing and seeing sexuality, but some think that it could be detrimental to society, especially since it's so easy to access, being, of course, very, very against pornography, and the other, even participants of it, as we say. So first, we'll start. Yes.
That's my team.
That's his team.
My team, that's your team.
I want a good moral standing team right here.
Alrighty.
Okay, so let's start. First we have here on the anti-porn side is Katrina Soko, who's part of the Gabriella Network. Now, Gabriella is a women's network that focuses on advocacy against sex trafficking, globalization, and militarism. So she'll give a personal and global outlook to this.
Our next guest is Mr. Fran Dulay. He's the marketing director for Pleasure Films. He says that porn is a form of entertainment and is not an actual depiction of real life.
Okay, and next we have here is George Collins, who is a self-described former porn addict. But now is the founder and director of Compulsion Solutions, a counseling service which provides treatment for men who suffer from results of sexually compulsive behavior. And there is such a thing, right?
Very interesting perspective we're going to get from George, because he used to be on this side of the fence and now
he went to the right side.
Is sitting over there. On my left, our second guest is adult entertainer April Syrup. Let's say hello to April. She believes that porn serves a vital purpose in entertaining what is already a common part of human nature.
Now, someone would disagree highly, and that is our next guest, Timothy Valderrama, who is with Singles for Christ, and he thinks that it corrupts. Porn corrupts, distorts values of the community.
He has brought a lot of his backup here in the audience today.
His gang.
His gang, a lot of Singles for Christ members. Those are the guys you have to watch out for.
Yeah.
And finally, our last guest. You may have walked into his shop if you live in the San Francisco Bay Area sometime in the recent past. He's
JC.
He's in a, or maybe I have walked into his store.
You have a club membership.
He owns an adult video store. His name is John Hiroka Lee. And he believes porn is harmless to society. He believes that porn has saved marriages and is a healthy way to express one's fantasies. All right, John, thanks for coming.
All right, we're in for a good one today, guys. So please stay tuned. And that was Squagos. We are talking about pornography today. And, oh, man. I'm getting excited for this one.
I am too. You know what? You talk about the things that this great country was built upon, Free speech, democracy. And these are the things that allow the pornography industry to survive. It's an expression of free speech. Is that correct?
It is an expression of free speech. It's actually more entertainment than anything else. When we take it so seriously that you're going to believe everything that happens in porn is what happens in real life, I think we need to separate ourselves from that.
Exactly. So this is for a mature audience, for people who know what they're doing. You know, it's just another form of entertainment, and they can handle it.
Porn isn't for everybody. Porn isn't for everybody. I think that people that have the desire to watch it should have the desire to watch it, and I don't think one group should be able to tell another group that they can't watch it.
John, porn is not for everybody. Who is porn for then?
I think it's for everybody.
He thinks it's for everybody.
Porn,
take care of the business.
Because there's different types of porn. There's porn for people who like feet. Okay. Porn for people who like elbows. You know, I mean, everything. You could find a porn that you'll like just because you never know what people are into.
Do you have a profile of the people that usually come into your store to buy the kind of material that you sell? I mean, do they come in a certain type or mold? Or?
I grew up thinking that, you know, when I started working at the shop, because my parents shopped originally, and, you know, I'm 13, 14 years old trying to, you know, help out. And I didn't realize that the people were normal people. My friends, dads would come in, and things like that, and I'd just be like,
hi, Tito, like that.
You know, I couldn't say anything.
You know, wow. They seem like normal guys. They seem like they had a normal upbringing, you know. I don't see anything wrong with what's going on over here.
I think like what JC was talking about a while ago, that porn's been around since before. And the thing is, the problem is like, porn is actually getting worse and worse.
How worse? What do you mean, like graphically or because of access?
From friends of mine.
Oh, so you did some research.
Yeah,
research. Everybody. That's just
I was wondering what's new with porn today, and he said, well, now it's getting nastier and nastier. Another person told me that at least we don't have children pornography. But I'm saying, not yet we don't have children pornography, but what will society allow later on? It seems to be that society is allowing worse and worse things to come out.
What is worse? Is it because that no one is allowed to speak of it, or is it because now it's accessible for people that don't want to see it? What are we saying?
Worse in the sense that people, just like gamblers, first they're okay with betting $20.
Yeah.
Then next thing you know, they're losing their homes. It's the same thing with people who watch pornography. First, they're just watching a little bit of it. Next thing you know, they're losing their wives. They're losing their family.
Now, George is actually an example of this. You said that people actually have sexual compulsive disorder. Would you say that you have that?
Please qualify that condition
what
first
is
for our
that?
viewers at home. What is that?
I lost 2 wives, very nice women, delightful women, because I really didn't understand intimacy. There's sex and there's intimacy. So I got hooked up through my father's porn.
Sure, as we all did.
A lot of people. and I wasn't able to really be married, be intimate in the marriage, because I maternalized a wife. The wives that I had, I made them into mothers rather than, because I had my girlfriend.
But is that the fault of the porn, George, or is it the fault of you?
It's the
You know what I mean?
Because there are people, that fall into that, and that would be people with addictive personalities.
Your relationships with other women are defined other than by porn. It's by how you were raised. It was the whole life of how you grew up to where you were at. Just the fact that you've seen porn, or you'd seen porn from your dad's collection or whatever, that wasn't the major grounding factor that would make you who you are today.
Who I am today is a person that doesn't want porn, doesn't want to objectify or sexualize women. Really what I want to do is to be intimate, socially, and with my partner.
Yeah. April is a woman. She's involved in the industry. He doesn't want to objectify women.
You know, as far as he was saying that, you know, his relationship with his wife involved a lot of discrepancy between intimacy and sex. And I actually teach a sensual dance class for women where I show them, you know, men do need a little bit of maybe a dance or maybe a role play to really bring out that fantasy. And this is what really builds a relationship, that communication, that understanding that certain people have certain needs and wants, especially sexually and sensually. For women, they need to feel sexy. So I teach women all the time how to be comfortable with their sensuality and their femininity and not take it offensively as objectivity.
But April, don't you think that for women in the sex industry or adult entertainment, isn't it demeaning?
You know, sex in general could be demeaning, but it is not because of pornography. It is because people in general in society have become a little curious about demeaning women, have actually built that as a fantasy. Women are equal today, and that's the way I view it.
Let's hear from Gabriella's women's rights ideology and their thoughts on the matter.
I think that we can talk about what happens to individual people, but the truth is we live in a community and society. And pre-colonization, in 150 dialects we had in the Philippines, there was no word for porn and prostitution. And so this came as a form of domination to our people. It goes through this whole gamut from porn to prostitution to sex trafficking. Because actually what's being extolled as sensuality for women has become the objectification of women. Right now, men in the military, when they go to the Philippines, their souvenir hats and shirts say LBFM, which means little brown machines. And that's what is being extolled around the world of what Filipino women are.
What could you say? Yeah.
So since there was no Filipino word for porn means it never exists?
Pre-colonization.
Pre-colonization anywhere. When Jesus was around, he forgave.
That was in the Holy Land. I'm talking about the Philippines.
Well, I'm talking about even historically, before Filipinos even started recording everything. So I'm talking about prehistory of our history.
Murder existed too, but it's not right.
Exactly, but is porn murder?
Okay.